one of those things where it's like I set up everything else except for the freaking camera. All right. Hey guys, I am just getting everything set up. All right. Yep. All right, so today's going to be a bit different. I need to really sand down this base to get all the previous paint and lacquer off of it. I could do it by hand, but it's going to take me forever. So, going to be doing some orbital sanding. Can't do it in this room because then I'd completely dust up the entire room. So I need to go out on the balcony, and it is, I don't know, upwards of minus 10 and something, 13 maybe, I can't remember. At least minus 10 outside. Why am I doing this outside? Because I don't have a workshop, so the only place I can actually do stuff that's sanding or painting is outside. So I gotta make do with that. I keep on looking for my freaking scalpel blade over there, but it's not there anymore. It's currently attached to my awesome Savage Industries apron, which I'm not currently wearing because I don't need it right now. But anyway, first off, we're going to start off with a little unboxing thing. I already know what this is. Pick the knife if I need it. Don't need it. So, this should be the bridge for the new guitar build that I'm working on currently, the Celeste 2.0. Yep, okay. Check that. Need that. And here we are. That's nice. I'm not going to take it out of the packaging just yet because I don't need to, but basically, this is a dataless model, but because I want to stay kind of true to the original kind of concept of this original Celeste, I have a telly bridge. It was, oddly enough, it was very hard to find a top mounting telly bridge that I liked. This has the option of going both string through and top mount. I'm going to use the top mount. Kind of sucks that I don't have gold screws. That's a little bit of a bummer. Would have liked these screws to have actually been gold as well. Would have been a lot cooler. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, so that's going to go on the Celeste. Looking forward to that. Not going to open it just yet because, frankly, I don't really need to at this point. So instead, I'm going to store it there. All right, so the aim of the game today is to do sanding outside. I need to figure out if I can actually film that and whether it makes sense. But I need to get stuff done, and it's getting increasingly dark outside. I could take the light out as well. So, while I do this, that means that I will not be able to look at the stream and follow the chat unless I go and look at the camera, but we'll figure that out. So let's go and move to the quote-unquote outside workshop to do the sanding. I really hope my camera doesn't fall while I do this. It's pretty dark out there, isn't it? It is pretty dark. So this is initially what my setup looks like for doing work outside. I had to do it on the floor because I don't have any better place to do it. Well, fortunately you can actually see what I'm doing, so that's always positive. I'm gonna go put on some clothes. Some more clothes. So I don't freeze. Okay. It is currently, oh, it's not -10. It's -10 outside, but because this is all sealed off, um, it is actually about 0 degrees. Now we're looking at Celsius, of course, because we're, decent human beings with decent numbers. Alright, it's gonna get noisy, it's gonna get dusty, and I'm gonna have a lot of cleanup to do, but seeing as I can't really go to the workshop to do this, this is the only option I really have. So here we go. Starting with 120, moving all the way up until 240, and that's the goal. Right, I really gotta go see if I have a fresh 120, because that will make this go a hell of a lot faster. We don't need to take off all that much. Hey, I'm doing good, Aether. Just as you can see, doing some sanding. I'm getting the paint off of this to prepare for the next layers of paint, or actually a refinish. So I don't really take it down to the bare wood because it's getting paint on top, but I do need to work on the floor and it's freaking cold. But I'll be right back. All right, so I did find some pressure papers, but I'm going to go with 80. It's actually going to be matte black. So going from glossy black to, or translucent gloss finish to a completely matte black. Not Jack Black, but matte black. Sorry, stupid joke. Brown, can't do that. Okay, done the switch papers. So yeah, I don't need to take this down all the way to bare wood because it's getting paint over on top of it, and I don't want to take it all the way down to bare wood because then I would have to deal with the whole sealing everything off and everything like that. It's so freaking cold out here. Whew. Thanks, Aether. I can't wait to see it finished either. Have you seen the front of it? So here is, it has brass frets and did the inlay by hand a little while ago. So that's fun. 120. Pretty much due to how irregular the shape is and everything else, there's a lot of hand sanding involved after this part. We'll see how far we get today, but what I aim to do is actually get this whole stuff done, so I don't have to worry about it later on. And while I'm not able to take off everything now, it does help me in the long run. that is basically what we're going to leave this at on the balcony. And the rest we're going to do by hand back indoors, because there's really no point in going all the way to 240 when I can't even reach all the areas. So what I'm doing now is just getting rid of all the extra dust off of the surface, and let's go back to where it's warm, shall we? All right. Any specific reason for the bass frets? Well, or brass frets, sorry. Wanted something a little bit different. And something that wasn't the usual nickel silver that everybody's used to. Actually, what I'm going to do is this. So yeah, wanted something different, something that isn't the usual medium jumbo nickel silver frets or extra jumbo nickel silver frets and stuff like that that you're gonna get on any bass. And yes, it is an LTD. It is an F series. Oh god, sorry. That sounds probably horrible. I'm gonna pick you guys up. Hold on. Hold on. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Yeah. So. Yeah, F series 5-string bass. I'm just gonna do some cleanup and not leave the door open because it's cold outside and I don't want it being cold inside as well. So yeah. Just wanted something a little bit different with the bass frets, and they're also a bit harder than the nickel silver fret. Nickel silver fret. I can't say that today. They're a bit harder, so they'll last a good bit longer, and also, you know, matte black, gold, and pearl. I mean, come on, that's a great combo. Sorry about the. This is probably very interesting to watch me cleaning things up and you just staring at my face. But it's got to be done. I'll show you something really funny in a bit. All right, here we go. Look at this. What are you doing? What are you doing? Is that comfortable? It doesn't look very comfortable. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see it come together, even for me. And I'm the one freaking making it. The inlays were a complete hassle because I didn't have big enough pieces, and it also doesn't make sense to do something that intricate out of just a single piece of pearl. So I divided into pieces and cut out the pieces and then inlaid them one by one. And I think the result looks pretty good. Yeah, she is actually a mix breed husky. So she's half Siberian husky. Then there's a part German Shepherd and one part Golden Retriever in her. So that's why she looks a bit different. All right. Back here. And I am so freaking dusty right now. Right. Well, I need to figure out where. I know where I put my glasses. To go get my glasses now. Alright, so usually, for all intents and purposes, I am a much more organized person than this stream has let on. But, yeah. I can't even blame it on a Monday, because it's not. It's Wednesday. And if you haven't caught on yet, or if you haven't checked out the previous stream I did, the basic idea now is that on Sundays I'll have proper edited video out on YouTube, and then on Wednesdays I'll do streaming on Twitch and upload that onto YouTube with a little bit of a delay. Yeah, freehand inlay stuff. This is really funny. We've had long conversations about the favorite parts of guitar builds to do with Jay, and oddly enough, one of Jay's favorite things to do is sanding, which I cannot stand, and I don't know what the hell is wrong with him for thinking that sanding is fun. But hey, you do you, sort of thing. Meanwhile, for me, inlays, man, I love doing inlays. So doing stuff like this, so doing stuff like this was so much fun for me. It's been a while since I've actually done mother of pearl inlays, so that's all well and good. Now, trying to think of where to even begin with this, or where to continue. I know the sounds of me doing this are probably really annoying on stream. But in general, now that I have the new computer, things are going to start running a lot better once I get that up and running next week. I'm still doing file transfers. Right now, I probably transferred like 80% of the stuff I need to transfer onto a backup drive, and then I need to format the actual drives that I'm going to use for a PC, and then transfer all those files back. So next week I hope I'll be able to properly get into using a new machine to edit and stream. Because right now I'm just streaming via my phone, and it's all well and good, but I want a little bit more out of doing these. That's all around edge. It's really interesting because this curve right here, it goes from a completely flat surface to a completely round. So it's a little bit annoying to sand and get right, but looks good. I'm not usually one for very sharp, pointy, metal-looking instruments, but if you're gonna do it, you might as well go full out. So the inlays as well are kind of lend toward the theme, so to speak. Ow. Splinter. But yeah, as I've said many times over, I do not need to actually get this all the way down to bare wood, which is very nice, because this would take forever. And I've done this before many times over. I started off doing guitar refinishing before I got into guitar building, and I used to refinish a bunch of stuff for let's see, when did I start? I'm guessing I started around, well, 10 years ago or so, or 11 years ago now. Sounds about right. Yeah. I think I started about 10 years ago doing this, and then I've been actively building, like from scratch, for about 5 years now. So yeah, back in the olden days, I used to just sand things by hand, and it took forever, and it was annoying, and I should be wearing a mask because I'm sanding polyurethane. This crossed my mind just now. Okay, serious question. I made a mock-up 8-string in CAD. Normally you do 3 or 4 millimeters for the fretboard overhang, right? If I were to do an 8-string, the thickest string, 80 gauge, would have 2.5 millimeter left from the edge of the string to the edge of the fretboard. Is this normal? Okay, hold on. I need to read that again. Oh man, the Jimru Jazzmaster. That is such a nice guitar. Anyway, tangent. I'm in a mock-up 8-string. Normally would do a 3 or 4 mil overhang for the fretboard. So I'll be guessing that you mean the end of the fretboard, right? Yeah. I usually go about, let's say that I have, if I would have a 22 fret instrument, the overhang would be pretty much where the 23rd fret would be for me. And then on a 24 fret instrument, the same thing. My basically a 25th fret would then be the end of my fretboard or the overhang. So even looking at this, we're looking at about 13 millimeters overhang. Or are you talking overhang as in like height wise? If I were to do an 8-string, the thickest string 80 gauge would have 2.5 mil left from the edge of the string to the edge of the fretboard. Edge of the string to the edge of the fretboard, 2.5 mil. That should be normal. It's basically boils down to what you want your string spacing to be. This helps me look at. Yeah, I'd say 2.5 is pretty good in general. Even on 6-string guitars, you'll have about what? Even like upwards of like 3 mil easily overhang, like on the edge of the fretboard to the edge of the string. That's I do that a whole lot. Designing in CAD, of course, it's very easy for you to fix and see what works. My suggestion would be that when you're drawing everything out, have your nut completely accurate and have your bridge completely accurate. Then draw the strings at the accurate gauges that you're going to use, and then you'll have an idea of how much clearance you need on either side. Of course, you want to have about the same amount. Otherwise, it'll look weird if you have 1 millimeter on the treble side and then 3 millimeters on the bass side. It's going to look uneven. But, yeah. Oh no, from the side, edge of the string to the edge of the fretboard side. Yeah. Okay, so it was one question. Okay, I understood. Differently. Normally you do 3 or 4 mil for the fretboard overhang. Okay, in that way, yes, you're correct. 3 or 4 mil. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that has kind of bugged me. I had an 8 string that you'll find out about what happened to my 8 string much later. But in general, because of such a thick string, it also vibrates a whole lot. That's why very often you might see basses with a good bit more overhang on both sides from on the treble and the bass, because the string vibrates a whole lot. So if you only have 2 millimeters and the string vibrates off of that, then you're prone to getting it, hitting the side of the fretboard, which is also not ideal. But with CAD, it's very easy for you to just fix up the lines, get your strings correct, and that will basically give you a good idea of where you need to go. Because what I usually do in general with most things is I'll go and I'll do research on what sizes everything are, what dimensions things are on other instruments. Like I think the Ibanez website actually is pretty good for that. It actually has dimensions for all the different widths of the fretboard and gauges of strings that they usually use, scale length, so that'll give you a rough idea of how to actually draw everything up a little bit better. Same where it's like if I'm looking at bass stuff, I might go into the Dingwall site because they have very accurate dimensions there, and they mention pretty much anything and everything for every model that they have. So it's useful. Just kind of do your research, try out different things, and keep on drawing up until you're satisfied with it. That's kind of what I go for. If it is weird, it'll look weird on paper. In most cases. I don't know if that helped, like, at all, but I tried. A very lengthy and very tangent-filled explanation, as per usual. Basically, I just want to get rid of all of the shiny bits, so to speak. Get those uniform before painting. Looks like I'll be drawing the strings out then and measure 4 millimeter from the edge of the string to the edge of the fretboard. Yeah, that's a good place to start. And then once you have that drawn out, you'll be able to see if it looks odd and if there's something I need to fix, whether dimensions of your string spacing or your fretboard size. Yeah, I don't know if I was just about to say go and check out the Ibanez website. Go and check it out anyway. It might have useful information on there. Go and find an 8th string and go down to the specs. They should have dimensions. I don't know if they have string spacing or not. If they don't, then, I mean, at least you have the size of the fretboard to go on. The width at the nut and the width at the last fret might be useful. All right, but it is basically nearing the point at which I need to actually stop streaming and start expecting a phone call. I also need to take the dog out for a walk, so I'm pretty sure that next stream you'll either see progress on this being made, or then maybe the Celeste, maybe the 7-string. We'll find out. Anywho, gonna go behind the camera now and do my closing statement, as it were. Oh god, my camera is so, like, you can see the dust. There, now it's a bit clearer. Oh, there's so much dust on my face as well. I need to get things cleaned up before the missus comes back home. So, alright, it's been fun, and I will see you guys next stream. This is going to hit YouTube very soon, and YouTube will have a new video out on Sunday. So, see you there. Bye guys, see you next Wednesday. Was fun.